Welcome back to another episode of Void City Reviews. I am Dan.
Toast.
And today we are going to be looking at a figure that Toast did not want after he initially did want it. And I was on the fence about, but I saw it and I had some ideas. Let's talk about this guy here. This is the Dark Knights of Steel Batman from McFarlane Toys. And he's from the series, The Dark Knights of Steel. Dark Knights of Steel, not of Seal. That's a whole different thing. Let's have you talk a little bit more about that. You have read this series and actually reviewed it over on last week's Comics Today.
Yeah.
In detail.
Oh, trigger finger.
Well.
I really enjoyed the series, and I would like toys because there are some fantastic character designs from that.
There really are.
And this Batman, to me, is different from the comic. I think he looks older and larger, and so I wanted something that's closer to the comic art, and what I got was this.
Yeah. So the comic art, their armor seems to be a lot more, for lack of a better example, like the really thin, low-profile armor Heath Ledger wore in A Knight's Tale.
Sure.
Kind of a modern take on old armor.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot more form-fitting, a lot more able to be articulated, a lot less bulky, like it is here, but then translated into this little toy, he's far bigger and bulkier, and I do agree he does look, you said he should be in like his 20s. This looks
I don't think
a little older.
They establish age much in the comic, but he is young, and this just looks like a man.
Yeah.
And he's frowning, and he is generally
got
upset in
Judge
the comic.
Dredd face, yeah.
But he also has wine lips, and I'm like, come on, Todd.
Well, like I was telling you, I got the one in the whole case, I think, that the Walmart I found this at received where the lips were actually on the right place of his face, because all the other ones, his lips were kind of where a mustache would go.
Oh, boy.
So it looked very not good on a lot of those figures. I think they're going to be, unfortunately, sitting on the peg with Duke Thomas and Armored Batman
that was
forever.
We showed off my Nightwing that had his mouth printed off to the side instead of on his
this
face.
is way worse even than that, because at least that was a little bit on his lips-ish. This was straight up like a mustache.
That's bad.
It's so dark, too. Those lips are so much darker than his skin.
So like many McFarlane, I like this better in hand than I did when it was just pictures on my screen. And I'm thinking about painting it.
Well, see, that leads me to a little bit of partially why I procured this guy. So I have largely slowed down my figure accumulation. I don't have a place to put them right now other than storage unit, really.
Right.
And he is starting to come out with more and more characters that I don't need a 5th, 6th, 8th, 12th, 14th version of, especially when we're really starting to hit the bottom of the barrel on some of these guys. And it's like, I don't need a figure of that.
Platinum Jim Gordon. He looks weirdly blue metallic.
Yeah, I don't get the weird blue metallic, why there needed to be a platinum of that. I might end up with that one. So I got this guy after hearing you in your review talk about how you wanted this figure, and then decided you didn't want him anymore based on his proportions and how he looked in the photo. I thought in person he looked better than the photo did, to me at least, so I thought maybe it would be the same with you. But then also, if there's any ways we can think of to possibly customize this guy to make him look a bit more like you wanted him to, and then, like you were saying, maybe paint him,
Yes.
you can maybe end up with something that resembles more what you had in mind and what is depicted on the page.
Well, so I do have customizing ideas, but also I think if I just mentally separate it from the comic, I think we could just make this a cool looking toy.
No, yeah.
And so one of the things you mentioned before we started was giving him a soft goods cape.
Cape and waist
Oh, good.
covering whatever this thing is, both of them.
Because I was going to suggest cutting this off right below the
Yeah.
belt.
I think
And
both would benefit from having some cloth in there.
Yeah. Well, at least we're on the same page.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I would paint it so to give him more color than just 2.
Yeah, there's not any paint on this guy that I can see. Like none other than on his face. It's all just the plastic. Other than maybe on his fingers, there's a little bit of the silver.
Yeah.
But everything else is just cast in whatever color it is. So there's just brown, this darkish blue, and then this grayish silver.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. And at the very least, everything under the armor needs a wash, if not detail painting in there, because there's all sorts of textures and cool stuff. The belt needs paint. The armor needs to somehow be silvered up a little bit, which is a problem I will leave for you, because it's all that soft, squishy stuff, and I hate painting that. It's not one of the like 4 colors I have a vinyl paint for, then it never works for me.
Well, so I base coat it, I prime it in flexible black. So either fabric or I've got a couple, but yeah, prime it in black and then paint it on top and then seal it, and it should be good. Dry brush. Yeah, I'll do that. You do fabric, I'll do paint.
All right.
We'll make this thing awesome.
Well, I guess.
Do you want to do anything about the scabbard and how it's open? I kind of don't hate it.
Well, I'm hoping that the cape would cover it up a little bit more. If it's cloth, I could close up this gap on there. Other than that, though, I don't really know how I'd fix that other than just flipping it upside down, which I don't know why it's not like that to begin with. The back of it's closed. Yeah, I don't get why the part facing his back is closed and the open part
is an odd choice.
The one we can see. But even going back to his Witcher characters and figures, the scabbards are always just garbage. They're always open on one side, and I don't understand that.
Yeah.
Are we really saving that much money in plastic by not having this one little strip? Come on, Todd.
There's paint on the sword.
Yeah, the sword looks great. Why can't we get that gold and silver chrome paint on any of the rest of the figure? He always is painting these silver swords and gold details, and
it's banned, but
yeah, they're
looks
floppy.
Good.
It's not as floppy as that one Wonder Woman sword, but it's still. She had that floppy sword, and then who was that? I think the Thomas Wayne came with that sword too. That just was like.
Yeah, so I'm intrigued. I want to get started. I think this is going to be a good project. We haven't teamed up on anything, I don't think.
No. Usually I'll do my Frankensteins. You'll do your awesome paints.
I will freely paint anything, and I'm dreading. I have several things that I want to do with fabric, and I'm just dreading it because I don't know what I'm doing.
Fabrics.
I don't want to screw it up.
Difficult.
But I saw somebody, I think it was you. You like laid it out on paper towels before, and I'm like, why don't I just use paper towels? It's so much easier than
that's what I did.
Than screwing up fabric.
Because then you had the paper towel, and I could just wrap it around. I wrapped it around the guy so I could see how much it wrapped around and how far down it went. And I just looked up the design of the Batman Begins cape, and I just drew it small on one half, folded it over, traced it through so it was symmetrical, and then cut it out. And there's my pattern. I've used it for every cape ever since.
I wish I took home ec in junior high.
I didn't have to sew any of this. None of these are sewn. None of them have any sewing yet. I mean, it depends on the fabric you use, but I've used fabric so far where when I cut it, it doesn't fray along the edges, so I don't have to sew it up.
I feel like I'd have a base.
But
well, that's good. That's good to know.
I mean, just basic sewing. They didn't make you take home ec? You went to the same middle school I did, didn't you?
Yeah, but every school changed after I left.
Oh, it's like worse for me.
It's like, it seems like every school got money after I left. Oh, the computer lab? Bye. I'm in high school now.
Yeah, well, be glad you didn't take home ec, because the final in that class was we had to make a garment. For some reason, girls had to make a nightgown, and guys had to make a pair of shorts. And then we had to go in a room in the back of the classroom.
Oh, no.
There was a little room, you opened a door, and there was a cloth inside that was hung over the little window on the door so you couldn't see in, and you go in there with the teacher and shut the door, and you're supposed to try on this garment for them to see that it works.
No.
I did not finish my shorts because the second I went home and told my parents, especially my mom, oh, here's what we have to do for our final, she's like, you're not going into any little room and changing clothes in front of a teacher in private in a classroom. That will not be happening. And I'm like, thank you, I agree. So yeah, I mostly just sat there trying to figure out how to work the sewing machine that was mostly broken every day. Until we got to the cooking section where we learned how to make pancakes, and that's about it.
Well,
so home ec was, they didn't get much money.
that's a life skill.
Not much.
Pancakes.
Yeah. Guess how many times I've made pancakes for myself in real life ever since?
Dear God.
0 times.
Oh my God.
Yeah. That was a fun little tangent. So yeah. So let's customize this guy. Let's see, it might take us a little while, real life and all sorts of projects and things, but
yeah, I don't know how long it takes you to do fabric stuff. Usually for me, it's setting a block of time aside to do painting.
Well, it just depends on how this guy's set up. His midsection, belt, and this cloth waist thing are all one piece. So really, I just have to take them apart, cut this off, and yeah, just attach the cloth on the inside of there. That should be easy. But I'd probably make, well, I don't know. Would you want the cloth on there when you paint this? Probably not, right? You'd probably want it without the cloth for painting.
But I would.
So I'll get it ready to be assembled.
Yeah, because I would have to disassemble.
And then I'll leave the cape off of it and everything else. I mean, this already looks like I can just. Oh yeah, that cape's. Probably won't even need water to get this cape off here. It's gonna just rip right off.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We're gonna have some fun with this guy. Cool.
To be continued.
Yes, to be continued at a later date, but that's, I guess, our thoughts on him. A little bit better than we thought it would be. Still, it's a bit cumbersome with some of the armor, but your basic McFarlane articulation. He comes with the sword, he comes with a stand, he comes with a card, like always, that's all. And we pretty much went over everything else as far as the figure, so all that's left now is to make him better. We will make him better. We have the technology. But do we have the time?
The will?
The will? The gumption?
Yeah. I'm saying we do.
The intestinal fortitude?
Oh, this needs to be painted too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's armor. Where does it stop?
It's a something. It should be armor. Yeah. It's hidden by the cape. Who cares? Yeah. No.
Thanks, Todd. Oh, you really could just peel the cape.
Yeah, it's got really thin little tabs, so I probably could just get my X-Acto and start each little nib and then just peel them right off there. It'll be fine.
One thing I started doing, and I don't know if you want to cut this or not, but I just take a picture of the toy and then do color stuff in Photoshop before I bust out the paints. So I will probably send you some color tests. Bicep swivel, look at that.
Yeah, I saw that, and it's hidden in the design, so you can't really see it either. It's nice.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, like I want to paint this little fabric right there.
I'm actually surprised he doesn't have thigh swivel, does he? I guess that means he won't be ever riding on a horse.
Well, if you read the comic,
I guess he probably rode not on a horse.
He doesn't need a horse.
Oh, Christ. Does he have a Batmobile even in the Middle Ages?
No, but you should probably read the comic.
Oh, does he have like a steam-powered glider, plane, helicopter, blimp?
I don't think you're going to guess this one.
Oh. Okay.
Yep.
Do you have roller skates?
Yeah. He has roller skates.
No.
No.
I know. Okay. Well, sweet. Okay, well, I guess that's really all we can say about him for now. I do like that head sculpt. That is, even if it's a little older than it should look, I think that helmet looks awesome.
Yeah.
That's a really cool helmet.
I just need to mentally separate it from the comic, and I think mission accomplished.
I'm kind of sad I didn't have this guy when I made my Monster Hunter Batman.
It's time to do another one.
This would be a sick head. I don't want, that figure took like 3 years. I don't want to start another one. Like and subscribe. Let us know what you thought of this guy. Did you read the comics? Did you think the figure looks good compared to the comics? Do you want more of the figures from the comic? Would you want like a Clark and a Kara and a Diana and
Poison
all those
Ivy.
people? Oh, we need more Poison Ivies in general, not just the Uma Thurman version.
Harley.
Yeah, all those guys. We need them all. Just get them all in there. Yes.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. I'm Dan.
Toast.
Void City Reviews. Yes, that thing. Stuff and things.